Over the past 2 years, we have acquired an eclectic range of 15 incredible cars. But as exciting as each one may be, not a singular one is perfect.
That is very true. My name's Chris and this is Joseph. And today we're going to walk you through every flaw, little quirk and annoying issue that we've discovered with our fleet.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's start with none other than the Lamborghini Huracan.
Yeah, arguably the most talked about car in our fleet.
It really is, it really is. So it's a Lamborghini Huracan 610-4, LP610-4. 610 standing for 610 horsepower if you didn't know that. And then the little dash 4 or 2 is four-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive essentially.
That's right. And no matter where you take that car, you are gonna garner an unbelievable amount of attention. It is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. I actually don't like driving. I always have my windows up because people want to wave at you. And it's nice, right? The attention's nice, but I'm just not that type of character. And it's obviously bright orange too, which does not help, so.
But you can't buy a Lamborghini and not have it in a flamboyant color, right?
That is true. Yeah, you're not going to buy a supercar. Well, actually, I'm going to contradict myself straight away. I would love to see that thing in black. It would look
that'd be pretty badass.
Insane.
That'd be pretty badass. But the amount of attention it gets, nothing is more devastating than when someone approaches you and goes, wow, is that a Lamborghini? Do the doors go up?
And then you're like, no, unfortunately not. You had to spend another 150 grand to get an Aventador to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And the doors are so bloody wide too. It's like, you can't park, not that you would park anywhere close to another car anyway, because you know, you don't want anyone dinging your door, but that is a huge annoyance is A, the doors don't go up, you have to spend another 150 grand, 100 grand, whatever it may be. And the doors are so bloody long that they should go up, like, you can't open it in any practical space anyway.
Yeah, so you've got all the ego in the world until someone asks you to open the doors and you've got to show off your poverty doors.
Yeah, knocks you right down there.
All right, next on the list, our McLaren 650S.
Which does indeed have the doors that go up, so.
Yep.
That's what McLaren actually does. I really like the doors going up. They just look insane, don't they? It's absolutely brilliant.
And just like the Lamborghini LP610-4, the horsepower for that thing is in its name, 650S. You got 650 horsepower, twin turbo V8, all going to the rear wheels. Pretty spooky car when you put your foot down.
Don't ask me what the S stands for, I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, 650 horsepower, rear wheel drive, twin turbo, 3.8 litre V8. It's pretty gnarly. You put your foot down and that thing fishtails quite a bit. I like it. I like it. I like the way the McLaren drives. I think it's a beautiful car. Not so good in traffic. The Lambo's better for that. But yeah, I think it's an absolutely stunning car. And the best thing about it is on the 650, they've got the iconic P1 front end.
Yeah, this is where I have no idea what the hell McLaren's design team were doing with this car, because they picked their most attractive front end on the planet, the McLaren P1.
From their most iconic car, the McLaren P1.
Yeah, and paired it with their ugliest rear design.
The MP4 12C.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Mixed them in a mixing bowl and spat out the 650S.
Look, it's not the prettiest rear end, you know, but it balances out well because you've got such an amazing front end and then you've got a pretty, you know, mid
Their ugliest rear end design to date.
It might be a bit harsh. It's not the prettiest, all right? That would be my biggest gripe is that, like, you've got such an attractive front end. Look, the GTR's trying to run away from you. Such an attractive front end, and then you end up with, you know.
If you notice, all our photos of that car is strictly the front end because I can't stand the rear end.
Then we move on to the car that was first shown in Mission Impossible. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to write in the comments what you reckon that car is before I say it. And
our BMW i8.
Yay!
Yeah, somehow MotorShare ended up with a hybrid.
I know, it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid. I'm not the biggest fan of hybrids, of course, but you know, this thing's growing on me. I quite like it.
Yeah.
It's outrageous.
Yeah, I'm actually going to start with that because I tried so hard to hate this thing, but then I drove it and it's actually kind of cool. I never wanted to like a hybrid or an electric car, but I spent a weekend with it and It's kind of cool.
If we're talking about quirks, it's certainly got a few quirks. That thing is so like advanced of its time. It's actually like quite mind-boggling. 2014, I know 2014, over 10 years ago now, right? And that's the tech they had.
Yeah, it does do a lot. So it is what is it? What's it got in it?
Yeah, 1.5 litre, 3-cylinder turbo.
And a big ass iRobot battery in the center because it's a hybrid.
It's something you'd see out of iRobot for sure. But then, when you are driving that thing, what do you think about that artificial sound?
Honestly, they've done a brilliant job at fooling you. When you put your foot down, you actually can't tell the difference if it is artificial noise or if it's the motor. You second guess it.
It's actually it's quite intuitive. Like it's stupid as anything, but I actually, it's quite good. I like it. I think they've done it well. Honestly, I can't tell. I can't tell whether it's that little 3-cylinder yapping in the back there or whether it is actually just a stereo behind my head going, meh. But it pulls hard.
Yeah, man, that thing can launch.
It's pretty good. It's not the fastest launch that's in the world, but it's that like EV power that you get throughout that launch, which is actually quite surprising. It does put you in your seat, which I like. It's got one thing that the Lambo doesn't, the doors.
Butterfly doors.
That is by far the coolest thing on the car, I know.
It has butterfly doors, but I'm gonna pick these doors apart because one design flaw is that the damn windows don't wind all the way to the bottom. They don't fit in the door. Literally
the window's down at the moment, and I can see it. That already freaking irks me. Yeah, it does not drop all the way into the actual door frame. The window doesn't fit in the door frame.
As stupid as that sounds, that is my biggest gripe with the car. My OCD kills me when I try and wind the window all the way down, hang my arm out, and the window's still sticking up.
There's actually nothing. Yeah, there's nothing worse than having the old driver's arm technique, and then you've got this freaking piece of glass rubbing on you. It's like, why? Plus, if you ever get the opportunity to drive one of those things, you better have some yoga lessons because this thing is probably one of the hardest cars to get in and out of for any car that's got sort of butterfly doors. It is quite awkward. I don't know why, but it's very sharp. I don't know whether it's a seating position or you've got that carbon tub that's quite wide. The sills are quite wide on the side. I don't know. It's just very awkward to get in and out of. It's hard to look cool while you're driving an i8 and
incredibly difficult to get in and out of, similar to another car that you'll hear later in this video. Next on the list are our Jaguars.
So good that we bought two.
We've got an F-Type S and an F-Type R. Yeah, supercharged V6 and the supercharged V8, which is absolutely savage.
God, they're good cars, aren't they? I mean, they sound so good.
Yeah.
It was before Jaguar went a bit strange and off the rails, but all that aside, they actually made a car sound like a bloody Jaguar, which is freaking crazy.
The F-Type R is arguably louder than our Lamborghini.
Although, all thanks to that aftermarket intake that we put on it, that you can hear that supercharger actually whine now. From factory, it sucked, you can hear it at all, so a must do on that particular car.
Yeah, so Jaguars, famously loved by Jeremy Clarkson himself. Jag, yep, so good we bought two of them. But my biggest flaws with the car is the interiors are just shit.
Sorry, I just wish we had Jeremy Clarkson on screen going, Jag! But yeah, no, the interiors are...
Yeah, you can sit in either our F-Type S or our F-Type R, and you do not know the difference. They're identical.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, apart from the bucket seat.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hate those standard seats in the S that we've got. And the cream colour too. I mean, the colour, you can get them in all sorts of different colours, but yeah, they're just a bit tacky, aren't they?
Yeah. No, I think it is important because the F-Type S is a convertible, F-Type R is a coupe, and with a convertible, you're sort of false dream with this summer highlight because it gets so damn hot when you're getting nuked by the sun. Those cream seats keep the interior quite cool, so that's probably the only bonus.
Yeah, it's the only saving grace.
Yeah.
Everything's quite plasticky and tacky, but sounds bloody good, and that's all that matters, let's be honest.
So yeah, biggest flaw of the car, interiors are shit. And even if you hop in a brand new 2024 model, they look identical and you can't tell the difference apart from maybe a digital dash in the newer models.
Interiors are shit. Jaguar.
Take notes, Jag.
Next up, arguably the most iconic JDM car of all time, the Nissan GTR R35. One of my favorite cars in the fleet.
Or more famously known
As, you like how I threw that back on you? Godzilla! Godzilla, the mighty Godzilla. That thing is like bringing a missile to a fist fight.
famously quoted by one of our members.
Literally, and I've never forgotten it. I saw him yesterday, I re-quoted it. Brilliant.
Yeah, best quote I've ever heard about that car. It's so accurate. So our member mostly liked all the European super exotic cars and didn't want to touch it because he thought it looked too boy racery.
Yeah.
And then he got behind the wheel,
Easily one of his most favorite cars so far.
bringing a missile to a fist fight.
Literally. V6, twin turbo, outrageous car.
Yeah.
Except the only thing you don't want to do in it is go backwards.
Yeah, because the minute you put that car in reverse,
I mean, in notorious R35 specifically fashion, everything's just a bit clunky, but you know, you have a few bell-housing rattles every once in a while. You know,
Yeah.
well, they all rattle, don't they?
if you ask any GDR owner, they'll just say
GDR noises.
GDR noises.
You want to be going forward in that thing because as soon as you put that thing in reverse, low speeds, reverse, it's very clunky. You obviously got bell housing noises. They all have these, what do they call them here?
GDR noises?
GDR noises, yeah.
Yeah, that thing hates going slow.
It really does.
It is incredibly quick. If you launch that thing, it's going to throw you in your seat. But the minute you start going slow, my God, you think you've broken it. Like,
Literally,
you
yeah,
get it in
it's
full
pretty
lock
bad.
in a car park and it's clunk, 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 clunk.
Yeah, it's pretty
You put
bad.
it in reverse and you can hear the transmission trying to find the gear. It's a whole nightmare. It just hates going slow.
Yeah. But what a car, honestly.
Missiles
I
versus
love that car. So good. Now we have the Mercedes-AMG GT.
Yep, released to rival the Porsche 911.
It did on the Nürburgring, the Black Series.
Yeah.
Did beat
The GT2 RS in 2020, which is an incredible feat, if you ask me.
It's actually pretty unbelievable. You know what else it beat? All the F1 cars. Because it's always leading. You get it? It was the Formula One safety car for a while. The GTR specifically. But, you know, the GT is...
Is it not still? The AMG GT, still the safety cars.
Yeah, but it's a GTR version. We've got the GT base model. I know, we're not. I wish we had a GTR. But 456 horsepower, V8 twin turbo. I mean, yeah, you can't go wrong, can you?
Nah, incredible car, sounds insane. Screams, pops, bangs, boogies, rear-wheel drive. I mean, the perfect package for a fun car, right?
What more could you want, let's be honest? Maybe a different color.
No, I like ours.
So then we move on to inside the car.
Yeah, here's the kicker. I don't know what they were thinking, but what the hell is the gear knob doing in the goddamn wrong postcode?
Yeah, it's actually a surprise you can actually get off the line on that thing because it's all the way back here somewhere. Like with drive, reverse. I don't know what they were thinking. The whole center console is, in my opinion, like a fighter jet gone wrong. To be fair, it's it's all over the shows, buttons everywhere. Like it's cool in practice and like you know in theory it looked kind of cool, but I don't think it really flows that well, especially that silly infotainment system. I don't know. AMG just put Apple CarPlay. It was released in 2016. You could have put it in the 2017 one.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
Yeah, it looks like they got a fighter jet, all their infotainment controls, the gears, put them in a blender, mixed them up and just spat them out. And then they just designed a center console on how that turned out because, yeah, what the gear knob's doing behind your elbow is a whole nightmare. Super interesting design, but...
It's like Pinocchio. Thing's got a longer nose than me.
Next up, the James Bond special. Well, actually, a car that never featured in a James Bond film. the Aston Martin DB9.
It's actually true.
Yeah.
Every car, apart from, no, not every car, but, you know, one of the very few Aston Martins that didn't actually feature in
And ours
James Bond.
didn't feature in a James Bond film, disappointingly, but it's still an incredible car.
Not just ours specifically, but the DB9.
No, ours specifically.
Well, and the DB9, yeah.
But it's still got the James Bond special hidden little secret pen in the center console.
Yeah, it ain't no RPG.
If you need to shoot anyone.
or sign any important documents, I don't know. But also known as my dad's favourite car, you know, it is a bit of an old-timers cruiser, isn't it, now?
Yeah.
This is a 2014 DB9. It's over 10 years old again. It's one of those cars that gets a lot of attention when you're out and about.
It's, yeah, very elegant, sexy car. It's got a massive V12 engine under the bonnet. Top speed of 300 and something incredible. Because, yeah, when you're going 100 Ks, the needle only moves this much. And you've got,
Literally, yeah.
yeah, the odometer's massive, but you don't get to use it up on public roads.
It kind of feels rude to like get that thing high up in the rev range. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, I should just be driving it nicely to a meeting. But it actually does love a bit of a thrashing, believe it or not. It is.
Sounds incredible.
It is a cool car, and it can frickin' boogie when you actually put your right foot down. Only if you've got it in sport mode. If you don't have it in sport mode, oh, that thing's like lazy as anything. Absolutely lazy. Like, it's a must to drive it in sport mode.
But the reason it's not perfect is
That bloody crystal key. Like a $2,500 crystal key. What is this thing? It's so big it doesn't fit in your pocket, right? It's outrageously overpriced, and you actually have to insert it into the center console of the car to start it. Like, what am I paying for? I'm not paying for convenience. I'm paying for having a bloomin' rock in my pant pocket. It's like, that's the worst thing about the car, hands down, is
crystal key. I think you get sold on a false dream. You've got this exotic, cool-looking crystal key, but the novelty wears off super quickly when you try and daily drive the car because it's not keyless entry. You've actually got to get the key out of a little leather pouch that we've got and put it in the dash every time. If they just made it keyless, it'll be perfect. But an overpriced, overhyped, cool on paper, but yeah, incredibly inconvenient in all honesty. The Aston's crystal key, -10 on our book.
Agree.
Now, if you've ever wanted to roll around like a Kardashian, our Mercedes G Wagon. Yep, big ass, badass car, 5.5 litre V8 twin turbo, AMG. That thing can move.
It's a bloody tank, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It is a tank. Incredibly luxurious, one of the most iconic opening and closing the door sounds.
Yeah, it's literally like a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. It weighs an absolute ton. It looks like a lifted Nissan Cube that costs 17 times more. But
They're badass cars.
honestly, being in bright blue too,
Yep.
far out. That thing gets a lot of looks.
Yep.
I love
Yeah.
the G Wagon. You get that real trucker feel, you know, that trucker life, you know. Hand out the window like this. Chair all the way back. G Wagon, G Wagon.
Wagon. Yeah, there's a reason all these rappers, all the Kardashians drive these things. They're badass cars. G-Class.
I love a
263.
G Wagon. I think they're outrageous looking. They're
Outrageously priced, outrageously looking. If you're looking for status, get a G Wagon.
outrageously fuel efficient. Not.
Yeah. That's the kicker here, boys and girls. Moving on to the reason it's not a perfect truck to own, because
Oh man, it
better
drinks
hope-
more than me on a Friday night, put it that way. Like, as soon as you're down the road, you've burnt half a tank of fuel. It's outrageous, absolutely ridiculous how much fuel that thing can drink.
that thing will guzzle it down. You better be prepared to take a home deposit out on your house to pay for the fuel.
Not just for the car, but for the fuel.
It chews through it.
But, you know, despite all that, I love that car.
Yeah. Badass car. There's
Truck.
a reason we have it.
Truck, manly.
It deserves
not
a
just a
spot
car.
under our limelight here. Mercedes G Wagon. Okay, I'm excited to move on to the next one, our Lotus Elise.
Small but mighty, I like to describe it as.
Yeah, our 240 Sport Final Edition.
4-cylinder, supercharged Toyota motor.
Yeah, completely bulletproof. That thing is a weapon. A very cool car. Final Edition is an important note. It is the last Elise, Exige, Evora that Lotus had produced, and we've got the 240 Sport Final Edition in our workshop.
The end of an era, unfortunately. What a car.
Yeah. Very cool car. It's got, the Final Edition specifically, has got the digital dash with some cool shift lights along the top, the exposed gear linkage in the middle, some cool, unique, very cool features.
The funny thing about this particular car, everything that we hate about it, we also love about it. It is simply a track-focused machine, which means, and leads us on to why it sucks.
Yeah, all the things we hate about it are all the things we love about it, because it's a standout track car. It, for one, has no power steering. It has seats that are just fixed to the chassis.
There's no lumbar control. You're literally just back and forth.
Yeah.
That's it.
Solid fixed seats.
I'm surprised you even moved on to that though. Just getting in the car is a bloody issue.
Hopping in and out of the thing is even worse than our BMW i8.
Yeah, when you have the soft top on, it's a bit of a challenge, to be fair. But again, with that track focus in mind, once you're in a cockpit, you don't need any lumbar support. You're there for a rough ride, you're there for a short time, not a long time, and you're there to drive the damn car.
There's absolutely no distractions in there. You don't have a touch screen, Apple CarPlay, you don't have AC and all these other amenities that'll distract you from the road. Everything is set there to focus on driving.
Yep, that's it. It's the purest driving experience you'll ever get, and that's the reason we love and hate our Lotus Elise.
Next in the spotlight is
The one and only, the Iron Man car.
our V10 Audi R8. Super badass car.
You like how we said that together?
Yeah.
So good. It deserves that high five. The R8 that we wrapped midnight purple, might I add. You know, those were back in the days where we didn't have a GTR, and a friend of Joe and I's, his father had a midnight purple R32 GTR, and I was jealous. So we got an R8 and we wrapped it midnight purple. What is the best thing about that car?
Everything.
It's everything. What a car.
Like, yeah, if I was to own a car, supercar to drive every single day, it would be an Audi R8.
Look, entry-level supercar, bang for buck, makes all the good noises, naturally aspirated V10. It's like actually having a little cheap Lambo, isn't it? Oh, I mean, I don't mean to put it in that category because it's not, but like,
They're essentially the same car.
It's still
just been tuned down, right?
V10, you know.
They share all the same bones. Oh my God, is it one of the best looking supercars, especially from that generation, with that iconic side blade.
The side blade, sacrilege how they broke that up in the Gen 2. What were you thinking? Like, that is the best thing about the car is the side blade. How gorgeous does those carbon fiber side blades look?
They look badass. Super comfortable interior, so you can drive it every day.
Yeah, it really is actually an everyday driver. It actually drives really, really well. I know, and that leads us on to why it's not a perfect car, is the, of course, R-tronic gearbox that a lot of people hate it. And, like, I get it, but I don't really get it at the same time. What a freaking experience that thing is. For me,
it's very unique.
For me, but a lot of people hate it. It's single clutch, you get that real lurch feeling. It's like driving a manual without a clutch pedal. Why not just put a bloody clutch pedal in it and make it a manual, which they did, of course. But the R-tronic, I don't know why it pisses so many people off.
Now you can understand it. It's very clunky. It's difficult to get the handle on. If we had the choice to have a manual, I would take that any day of the week. Leagues ahead. But yeah, that's the reason it's not perfect. That R-tronic gearbox is a lot to get used to. But when you do figure it out, cool experience, super unique.
It's really not that hard to figure out though, is it? Literally just de-accelerate a little bit as you're changing gear, reduce that lurch, make it smooth.
If you've never driven a manual and you just assume you're purchasing an automatic car, you can see where all the hate's coming from. It's not easy to figure out. But if you drive manual every day, just drive it like a manual without a pedal, third pedal.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, super unique experience, super cool car. Unfortunately, not perfect.
Rightio, next up, let's talk about America's take on a supercar.
Yep, the Corvette C8. The Corvette's first mid-engine car.
It should be G8, right? Great. Because I think it's absolutely, it's pretty top notch to be fair. America's take on a mid-engine supercar.
It's such a cool car.
I mean, it's not a bad first outing.
But the crazy thing is I used to hate them. I thought they looked corny. It was like they're trying so hard to be supercar European. And yeah, all I had to do was spend a weekend with it.
Look.
Fell in love with it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and like how it looks very aggressive. So many sharp lines, like probably still way too many lines, but it's a bit of a try-hard version of a supercar, but it actually does perform and live up to that expectation. They are really, really good, functional, everyday supercar drivers.
They've done it well. Shy of 500 horsepower, V8, extraordinary numbers. It's 0 to 100 in like it's in the 2-second category, 2.8 seconds or something like that. But yeah, phenomenal numbers. It does incredible things.
You know, it does do incredible things like warm your hands with a steering wheel, steering wheel warmer. Sorry, it's just American like unnecessary tech, which again adds to the weight. But like your seat bum coolers and heaters.
What a
and,
treat!
Like, it is really nice.
That first night I spent with it, I got up in the morning and I used the key to push start the car. Made a coffee, and by the time I got out of the car, heated steering wheel, heated seats, all the mist off the window was gone. It was just
what a great feature though. The start on the remote. 5-10 minutes, let your car warm up while you're eating your brekkie, brushing your teeth, whatever. Fire that puppy up from your remote, and by the time you get to it 5-10 minutes later, everything's warm. You have your personal settings suited. Like it's such an Americanized car.
Welcome to the modern generation.
All the ridiculous mod cons.
Yeah, so it's a cool car, but can you pick this thing apart?
I do know, actually, why this car is not perfect, in my opinion, is the engine bay positioning. Like, obviously, it's a mid-engine, right? You've got this awkward kind of funny-shaped boot space at the back, but if you're a bit of a clean freak like I am, cleaning that engine bay of the C8 you're gonna need like scaffolding. It's horrible, like absolutely
And it doesn't
horrible.
look very exciting. I mean, you open the engine bay to a Lamborghini and you're just presented with
forged carbons, shrouds surrounding, but
everything looks pristine. But then you open the Corvette, it's got exposed wiring,
that's
all
a big
this
problem.
Unnecessary stuff. It's very ugly.
Yeah, it is quite an ugly engine bay. But again, for a first outing, you can't get everything right. It's certainly one of a kind. But aesthetically, the engine bay is pretty mid-looking.
And don't get me started on the fitment. From factory, the fitment's atrocious. The rear wheels stick 3-4 inches within the car.
It's not actually 3 or 4 inches, guys. Just this guy exaggerating. But yeah, it does have some quirks. You
definitely want to put some aftermarket wheels on there. But yeah, it's still shy of being perfect, the Corvette C8.
Especially with that salmon on the side. Sorry, if you know, you know, and I've just ruined the car for a lot of you guys there, but I'll just leave that there. I won't even go into that.
Couldn't do it, and with that, we'll move on.
And that brings us to the finale. Now you're probably thinking,
we've still
it's
got
not
3
15
cars to go.
Yeah, well, what are these clowns on about? Well, look, there's 3 Porsches at the end, and what else do you have to say? They're pretty perfect.
Yeah, it is. They are so shy of being perfect, it's ridiculous. So the cars in our shop are split between 3 categories. We've got Essential, Premium, and Private. And in each category, we have a Porsche. The Essential, we've got a Porsche Boxster 981. The Premium category, we've got a Porsche 911 Carrera S.
Yeah, a 991.1.
991.1.
Not the .2, but yeah, still pretty good.
And the Private collection, we've got our Porsche Cayman GT4.
It's also a 981. The best GT4 in my opinion. The 981s only came in manual.
Yeah, and we just recently put out a YouTube video and titled...
Very recently, yeah.
Is this the perfect Porsche? And yeah, we don't say that with a grain of salt. It is just shy of being the perfect Porsche.
Hey, the GT4 is such a good car though, isn't it? Well balanced, mid-engine. That's a proper driver's car.
Incredible car. And then for our Essential category, our Porsche Boxster, what we use it for man, try it perfect. I don't know what, like,
Yeah,
I don't know what it's missing.
For a 2.7 litre flat six, it doesn't haul ass, put it that way, but it's actually just a great little cruiser. Put the top down, you know, pretend you're Ken and Barbie for the weekend, go out and enjoy it. I mean, it is known as a bit of a hairdresser's car or an entry-level Porsche, but what colour's your Porsche?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just simple things like that. It's a great entry-level Porsche. Yeah, you won't be annoyed with that, to be honest. The Boxster S is a little bit better, mind you. I believe it's a 3.4 litre flat six, but the 2.7 is great. Great around town, very fuel efficient, which is good. And then the 911, just to end it there. They're good. They're good for everything. Track use, everyday use.
Yeah, mind you, our 911 doesn't have a sport exhaust.
No, yeah, to be fair, that's what makes this 911 not so perfect, is the sport exhaust missing.
Yeah. We
did have a black 911, 901 again, .1, with the sport exhaust, and we were so sad when we sold that. We should have angle grinded that exhaust off and welded it to this puppy, that's for sure.
I can't believe we let that go.
I know.
So yeah, we're left with a small poverty button in the middle. We're missing the open-close exhaust button in the center console for the 911.
But if we're talking about options on this 911's got it all. It's got sunroof, it's got Sport Plus, it's got a lot of the options that you would want for a multi-use 911, a track and everyday
and back seats.
Use. And back seats. In all seriousness, if we are going to stick to the theme of the video, if you could pick one small thing that you think isn't perfect about the Boxster.
There's always a bigger, better fish in the ocean, right? There's always a bigger fish. Now, that's why I think it's important our cars are categorized and essential. It's perfect for what we use it for.
If you're struggling, I can help you out on
I'm honestly struggling. Like,
that is a good car, but I don't really get the implementation of the little spoiler. It kind of looks pathetic when it's up, to be fair, on the Boxster. Boxster S, you know, a little bit more peppy, a little bit more sporty, but yeah, the spoiler on that, funnily enough, I would also say the same thing about the spoiler design on the 911. I think they look pretty ugly. Yeah. I actually prefer the car with the spoiler down. It looks a lot nicer. Sorry.
Yeah, some of them start looking really good with a ducktail spoiler, but you move up to the GT3, they look phenomenal.
My favourite car in the fleet. Genuinely my favourite driving car, the Porsche GT4. Why is it not perfect to me? I'd be hard pressed to find anything that I don't like about it, to be honest.
Maybe the long gearing ratio.
Long gear, yeah.
Peppy, but on the rears, but
yeah, I guess you could say the long gear ratio. Everything else is.
Man, what a badass car.
What a note to end it on, let me tell you that.
Opens the argument for us to get a GT3 RS. All right?
Yeah, I can only imagine.
I can only imagine that as the perfect car.
Soon, hopefully.
The day will come. So, on that note, we don't want to glaze Porsche too much, but they've taken the cake. Very hard to pull them apart and say they're not perfect, because my God, they're just shy of it every time.
Oh, yeah. No, let's end it there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for tuning in.
Till next time, I've been Joe. This has been Chris. See you in the next video.
Peace out.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for